Hey, this is Nathan from Brewery Ministries, and we are on episode 3 of our overview through the Bible, trying to get the big picture of what the Bible's about. As I'm recording this, we are 3 weeks into a stay-home order due to coronavirus, so this is one of the weirdest things I have ever lived through, and I'm pretty sure we'll remember it that way. But here's where we're at. We just talked about Adam and Eve and what they did to upset God so that they had to leave the Garden of Eden. Well, we're going to figure out, where did the human race go from here? This is part of our history as people. Adam and Eve had a whole bunch of kids, but the two that we know the most about are Cain and Abel. You've probably heard of them, or maybe you listen to the band Avenged Sevenfold. The name actually comes from Genesis chapter 4, from this story. So, Cain. Let's talk about Cain. Cain is a farmer. He grows crops. I used to play Sim Farm. I used to grow crops, right? It's like a cousin game to Sim City where you're a farmer. Yeah, I'm a nerd, whatever. So Abel, he's a sheep farmer. So he takes care of sheep, and they both decide that they're going to take something from their livelihood. Cain takes some crops, and Abel takes some of his best lambs. And they bring these gifts and they give them to God. How they gave them to God, I have no idea. There's not a whole lot of information here, but the whole point is they give these gifts to God, and God looks at them, and he really gravitates towards Abel's gift, his best lambs from Abel's flock, and he doesn't really regard Cain's gift on the same level. He's not as excited about it, and Cain is really upset. So the first question is, why might God not like Cain's gift as much as Abel's? Well, that's a good question. We can think about it and try to draw some conclusions. There's not a whole lot of information here either, other than it says that Abel brought his best lambs. I mean, the best stuff that he had, he gave to God. So I could see there was a lot of thought and effort put into this. Okay, let's try to put this story in modern terms. So 8 or 9 years ago, I moved away from home. I live a 12-hour drive from my hometown. So I don't know about you, maybe you don't live where your parents do either anymore, but when it comes to the holidays, it's kind of hard for me to go shopping around here and pick out a nice, meaningful gift for my family. Sometimes I can ship stuff home, but when I first moved, it was easier because I didn't want to pay for a lot of bags on the airlines. It was easier for me to just get gift cards for people. Now, sometimes I get a gift card, and I think that's awesome because I get to pick out what I want, right? But after 2 or 3 years, it seemed like I was always giving the same gift card to the same people every birthday and every Christmas. I just started to feel a little bit guilty, like, oh man, I'm really mailing it in. I wanted to give them something meaningful that showed that I cared about them. So, I don't know, maybe Cain just kept giving God an Amazon gift card every year. I don't know. Maybe he didn't put a whole lot of thought behind his gift and was just kind of going through the motions. That's kind of what a lot of people think and interpret this story as. So Abel put a lot of thought behind his gift, tried to give his best to his father, his creator, and Cain did not. So Cain is really jealous. He is stewing. I mean, he wanted God's regards too. He wanted God's respect and attention, but he doesn't have it. So he's very upset and angry, and God tries to give him like a gentle warning, and he says, hey Cain, like, I can see that you're very angry. You've got to work hard to control this anger, because if you don't, if you let it spill out, something bad's going to happen. Well, Cain lets it spill out. He goes out into a field and he kills his brother Abel. Then you'll draw some similarities to the last episode. God comes and asks Cain, hey, where's your brother? And Cain says, I don't know. So, as you can see here, same thing that happened with Adam and Eve. When God comes and asks Cain, what'd you do? he lies about it. He tries to cover it up. All right, so what can we learn from this story? First of all, you can see that humans are getting into a pattern here. We have a problematic history. We've always been mistake prone. We've always damaged relationships. That's a problem. We really want to connect with people, but we keep damaging those relationships. It's like this push-pull thing, and we're caught in the middle between good and bad influences, and our emotions get the better of us, and that stuff happens. We're also caught in the same type of relationship with God. We really want to connect with God, but we also keep damaging our relationship with God. It's interesting though, like God is a perfect being. Why would a perfect being want to connect with imperfect beings who are mistake prone? I don't know. I mean, you would think he would just be in for disappointment, just setting himself up for hurt after hurt after hurt. But he's still there, which is something really beautiful. I think that type of commitment is very beautiful. And we're going to explore that in the next couple episodes. So up next, a story you probably know about, Noah's Ark. We're going to learn what happened to human beings after this, and what does this story say about God's commitment to humans. So we'll catch you again soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.